What up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. NFL and college football talk with Jay, man. We got our guy 5-star in Vegas on the show, man. Y'all know how we do it on Thursdays, man. My guy been killing it all season. Let's see if we can keep it going this week. 5-star, how you doing, my brother? Everything cool with you?
Good morning. Always good to be here with you, Jay. Man, we talk often, so this ain't nothing new, but, always good to see you, on the video. Shout out to the chat. Y'all hit that like button for my dog, Jay Money. Guys, we've been eating, and we're going to continue to.
That's a fact, man. Let's get straight to it, man. We're not here to waste the people's times, man. Y'all know got to do the NBA show as well after this, man. But it's a really good game tonight, man. Divisional game here as well. We know a lot of people want to bet this game. I just saw some guys hop on the under in this one. They hopped on that under 53 in this one. 5-star pushed the line down to 52.5 there. But we do going over here to the fields of Baltimore in this one. Ravens laying 6 versus the Bengals in this one, my brother. Obviously that first game, Bengals had it. I was at that game as well. Bengals had that game in the bag and ended up losing it in overtime. And now, man, I know the kicker missed a couple important kicks in there on 5-star. What do you think happens in this game, my brother? Bengals been playing a lot better. Ravens defense been playing a lot better as well. What are you looking at in this game?
Well, we gave out on the show the Ravens last week -9 because we felt like we'd have a better showing. Yep, we knew we'd have that was a layup. We knew we'd have a better showing. They've been real disappointing all year, especially against the pass, one of the bottom-ranked teams in the whole league. But they looked good last week against Bo Nix. We kind of knew that the Broncos were over, valued by the books. Are the Ravens right? We know that offensively, they're a juggernaut. Still most rushing yards in the league by far. You got just a dynamic backfield with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. But they're playing against a Bengals team that's got to be really hungry right now, man, and in need of a victory, man, or their season is basically over. I think that the Bengals come out real feisty in this one. I don't know about the whole game because what worries me is that the Ravens will wear down that front line for the Bengals, and I think the Bengals come out hype, but as the game keeps going and the Ravens continue to pound them, sooner or later Derrick Henry's going to pop one. And I think that usually comes after halftime. So, I like the big Jay. I'm a halftime dude. So I'm going with the first half plus 3.5 with the Bengals. I think that they keep it close early, maybe even have the lead going into halftime. Short week for both teams. But we've seen that Burrow's pissed. We didn't get many smiles from him last week, even though they played pretty good against the Raiders. He looks like he's locked in. He looks like he's a little ticked off with, how things have been going for their team. Defense, get some of their starters back. So I think they could stick around in this one, at least the first half. So give me the Bengals first half plus 3.5. Should be real motivated after blowing that great game that you were at, where the normally reliable Evan McPherson gets a bad hold from his hold and makes a way miss. I'm so mad about that, Jay, man. Just a quick story. I know we're on time. Bro, that's the last leg I had. I never do parlays, but this was when I do them, I put them on the phone so that way they can maybe offer me something, which is rare in Vegas. They hate us. They gonna make you go all the way out. It's nothing. You guys that are out of town dealing with DraftKings and FanDuel, y'all so lucky y'all not in Vegas, man. Let me tell you, because you always have a cash out available. They don't do that here. I'm on the last leg of the morning schedule. I'm 6 out of 6. The only one I'm waiting on is the Ravens, right? I had some light money on maybe 200, but it paid $5,000. So I'm waiting on the Ravens, go to overtime on the BS. I say, man, Ravens about to win. I'm good. I'm watching the money. It's up to like 4,000 they offer me now.
Yeah.
It just dropped silly to 1,500. I'm like, what the hell happened? Because the app always faster than the TV, especially out here. The TV slow as hell in Vegas. They make sure of it.
Motherfuckers janky, boy.
Bro, janky. Lamar fumbled. He tried to get a game where he was to be the company man, Jay. He tried to blow that shit. So he fumbles the ball, gives it back to Cincinnati. I'm like, oh, man, McPherson, good money. I've been betting him for 2-3 years. I'm like, nah, this over. I cash out 1,500.
Yeah.
Everybody in the book got the Ravens. I'm just like, I'm gonna watch this shit and see what happens. Sure enough, man, McPherson misses the field goal. The whole casino went crazy, bro. Next drive, Harbaugh like, you ain't about to mess me off, Lamar. I know you gave the hit. So 70. I said, damn, man, I gave these folks back 4,000. But that's just a quick story about that game that you was at, man. That was a good game.
Yeah, that's one thing about them cash outs. I've been there before as well, where I didn't you get frisky there, and that cash out beat and screwed you over, man. So a lot of times I like to just let it ride out, but there you can definitely see when I think it's best in basketball where you can tell There it's like, all right, this team is not, you know what I'm saying? They about to piss this shit away, man. So
Yeah.
football is definitely different. Lamar definitely tried to piss away, but yeah, Henry came to play there. That was actually a really good game, man. They scored 79 points in that game as well, man. That was what do you think about? Do you think that it could possibly be a little bit more of a defensive game here? I had to check the weather in this one, but do you think it could be a little bit better, a little bit more defense in this second time around? Because the last time the offenses were doing whatever the hell they won. Bengals for sure. I know Zach Orr, he's got to come in like, all right, look, last time we let Jamar Chase literally go crazy on us. We won't have a chance to stay in this game. One of these teams probably try to run the ball, try to shorten this game up here. We know the Ravens going to try to run the ball, but I feel like the Ravens defense has been getting better week by week. What do you possibly think about this sharp play on the under in this game?
The under might last, but it's just, man, when you look at the Ravens defense against the pass, and that's going right into the wheelhouse. We know the Bengals don't have a running game since Mixon left. Bro, even after all said and done with them blowing out the Broncos last week, Jay, still the Ravens are 32nd in pass yards allowed per game. That's last in the league. It's 32 teams in the league. They're 30th in pass attempts against them, 30th in pass completions, 29th in yards per completion. They're giving up 11 yards per pass to this team with Burrow pissed off, and with Gesicki. Now, that's another one. You guys play the over on Gesicki yards. Gesicki.
I saw somebody on there as well, because T. Higgins out as well, so that helps Gesicki up there. I saw somebody hopping on that. I think they took 47.5. There's no telling what it's up to now, but they tried to get ahead of the market on that. That shit probably in the 50s now.
Free game from 5-star. Take Gesicki every week right now. Now that T. Hilton is out, and also go take Cade Otton every week. They probably gonna push him up to 65. He gonna get 100 yards almost every game because him and Mayfield are partners. They hang together. They're homies, and they feel each other's vibe now that his main two targets are gone. So those are two tight ends to keep an eye on. But I think Gesicki has a big game. But, man, they're giving up their yards per attempt is crazy. Man, I don't play totals, but I would stay away from them in this game just because the Ravens going to put up points most likely unless Lamar working. We didn't see them do it before. It's a prime time game. They might tell him, hey, boy, we're going to give you your third MVP this year.
Yeah.
What you need to do. So we don't know, man. So, but I think Burrow is ticked, and I think that Burrow's not going to look like a fool tonight,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, he's one of them dudes. If he's healthy and pissed off, you want to bet him like Brady.
Right.
Yeah.
So. He definitely could be a junior Brady over there, man. Hopefully they had a little better coach over there, you see what I'm saying? And good, just like overall team.
He's good, Jay. He'd have been to a Super Bowl. He's good. What it's his front office, bro. It's hard to overcome bad management.
They cheap.
They're cheap. They should have signed Joe Mixon. Anyone who watched the Bengals know that Joe Mixon was intricate to their success. It's no way you're supposed to let go of running back like Joe Mixon. Right. If you don't have a sturdy replacement for him, but they tried to go cheap because what's happening, they paid Burrow all that money. And Burrow, unlike Mahomes, Burrow did much like Dak did and did a deal that was, well, I'm going to get the most money I can get. I'm not going to make it friendly where everybody else can get some paper. They didn't give a damn. They smashed.
Yeah. He said, I want my money. Yeah, they say Gesicki's yards is anywhere from 50.5 to 53.5. So you betting props, you always want to go and shop at the best book, man. Get the best line, man. That's really whatever you're betting. You know what I'm saying? It could be NBA, it could be tennis, whatever. Make sure you're getting the best line and getting the most return on your investment over there, man. That's very important when you're trying to win at this long term. But my guys liking the Bengals first half plus 3.5 here. I could not talk you off, my guy. Let's go over here to DC in this one. Commanders laying 3 at the house versus Steelers. Really intriguing game. I think Steelers coming off a bye week. Commanders 7-2, absolutely balling over there, man. Damn. Do you think the Commanders get tripped up here, or do you think they keep it going, my brother?
No, I like the Commanders in this game. I don't know if the bye does the Steelers well. Maybe it does. Russell Wilson has been playing good, a little bit over his head, I think. And people don't realize the type of coach that Dan Quinn is. He's getting his guys to buy in now, and now that defense is starting to look a lot better. He has no names over there. He doesn't really have a lot of players, but he does have one guy that's very important to his scheme, and that's Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner knows what he wants to do. He's his quarterback. on the field, and he's going to get those young boys in the right place. And then they still have a really good defensive line over there. It's just on the back end, they're really, really young. But they got some young feisty dudes who could play, man. Main thing that I like about this is Jaden Daniels. You guys, if you've been following me for a while on X, or before I even came on it with Jay since 2021, Jaden Daniels has been the top quarterback on my board. I've been telling people that the moment he hits the NFL, he's the next Lamar Jackson with a better arm, because I saw the transition that he had from being a dominant player in the Pac-12, well, not a lot around him in Arizona State, to going to LSU, not playing with the top dogs, and still it showed you what you're supposed to do when you're playing with the best. He became a Heisman Trophy winner because now he has real talent around. Bro, Jaden Daniels is going to be here a long time in the NFL. You remember what I told you. He might not win as many MVPs as Lamar, but he's going to have more long-term success, I think, than Lamar. And the reason why is Jaden's a much better passer than Lamar in the intermediate game. And that's what makes the NFL. Anybody can throw the ball deep and put some air on the ball. It's being accurate from 20 yards to 10 yards that makes an NFL quarterback. And Jaden is really good at that. And that's what separates them. Him and Cliff Kingsbury have a great relationship. Cliff Kingsbury has coached some of the best, and him and Jaden are just hitting on all cylinders right now. Mm-hmm. The same thing we talked about early in the season about how Canales was messing up with Bryce Young with Carolina because he wasn't allowing him to run plays that he was comfortable with. Washington's doing just the opposite. They're running LSU's offense with Jaden, and he's killing them because he's mastered that offense. He's also using this thing, the Oculus little things where you put on your face, and even when he's at home, they're running at full speed, where now he's just like he's in the game, but he's in the living room seeing stuff and practicing. And he's just a really quick decision maker, and he's a winner, bro. He's so confident. I think that they're going to use the Steelers' aggressiveness against them. We've seen in the past that the Steelers really have problems dealing with teams that can throw the ball, and Washington can throw the ball and they can run it. They're a real threat on the end. They're going to make T.J. Watt make a lot of decisions because he likes the blitz. He doesn't want to play the run. He can. He's one of the best outside linebackers against the run. Don't get me wrong. He's a solid player, but his natural instinct is, I'm going to get this quarterback. Right. So they're going to have him on his heels. And now when Jaden hits the corner, it's going to be so much stuff that he's going to be able to do. And I think that the Steelers' offense has not showed me through Arthur Smith at the OC that they're creative enough to stay in the game with Washington, because I think Washington will be able to score, not when they want to, but when they need to. If they have to go get it, I think they can. So give me Washington on this one. I think the Commanders are in a really good groove right now. I'm holding a ticket on them to win the NFC East. If you watch my show, bro, preseason, I took them because I'm so high on Dan Quinn. We talked about this on previous shows. People don't know it, really understand what type of coach Dan Quinn is. Like, Dan Quinn is one of the best coaches in the NFL, and he's proved it on the field over and over, man.
Yeah, and the Cowboys missing him too. I'm telling you, they for damn sure. They missing him, boy. That's a fact. They missing him, boy. Them Cowboys, and then Dak out. Yeah, them boys finished over there. But the Commanders 7-1-1 against the spread this season, man. I would not step in front of them. That's an absolute fact there, 5-star. But any other games that you wanted to talk about? Obviously we had some news coming out today. Looks like Lawrence is gonna be out. So it's a lot of storylines over the NFL, man. The Panthers coming off a good win. This girl over here, I'm talking about cracking
man.
up,
I
man.
got 3 of them too. I sit there over here though.
Yeah,
I sit there at school today.
Yeah, Carolina. Where they playing at? They playing overseas somewhere. Carolina. And
man, the Giants should beat their ass. That should be one to the Giants to get right game and take out all their frustration from the past. The Dexter Lawrence making life real miserable for Bryce Young because they just caught the Saints at the right time. I wouldn't play Carolina on that game.
No, that's a fact. Then we got the Saints. Shit, I know they fired the coach over there. Maybe that sometimes they can really like give a shot arm to the team. It's just the Saints' body language. They might just be giving up on the season, man. I've never bet against like the fire coach angle, but I think even this time the players are just kind of done with the season, bro. And then the way that they smacked the Falcons up last year, I think the Falcons gonna want to go ahead. Like they probably still want to kick them while they're down. You know what I mean? What do you think about that Falcons Saints game? Do the Saints have anything left in them, or you kind of think they just kind of gave up on the season?
The refs can't cheat enough for the Saints to cover on this game. I'm going to just be real with you, bro, because you know why? They don't like Derek Carr. There's no quarterback in the building that can take the Saints to put enough points on the board to deal with Kirk Cousins. That means your defense is going to have to be lights out for 4 quarters, and that's a long time against a Falcons team who's really talented, who's clicking on all cylinders on offense, who has so many weapons. Kyle Pitts is now playing good. Darnell Mooney is balling. Drake London now even use him, and he's a baller. They still got the great running back Bijan Robinson. They got a backup running back Al Jeter to run it down your throat. They're looking really, really good. I like what Zach Robinson is doing. He was an ex-Rams OC that's over there with Atlanta. You know, he came up under the Sean McVay tree, so he knows what he's doing, Jay. I'm a Saints fan, but I can tell you this, bro. I wouldn't bet them. If I'm going to bet any side on this game, I'm betting the Falcons. Even though it's going to be public, I don't even care because just in actuality, we know that the Falcons are always up for the Saints. It doesn't matter. That's their main rivalry. Like, for years that people have been hitting I-10 to 65 to 85 to make their trip back and forth Atlanta, New Orleans. That's been a rivalry. Both of them sucked or whether they was really good. So they're going to be ready and trying to embarrass the Saints, bro.
Thanks.
So,
that's what the Saints did last year. They embarrassed them 48-17, didn't let up on them. I'm talking about scoring late. And the Falcons remember that shit too. So the Saints had just lost the Saints had just beat the Falcons 7 of the last 9 matchups. Now it's probably the turn it's the Falcons' turn to start smacking them boys up, man. So I'm right there with
organization right now, Jay. Falcons are set up for a lot of success in the future, man. I got you, Jay. The Falcons are really set up for a lot of success in the future, man. They got Michael Penix that's going to come right behind Kirk Cousins. On the low, Kirk Cousins is playing like a MVP. He's playing like an offensive MVP, bro. Like, let's just be real about it. Kirk Cousins is a really good player, man. And now that he's came out that Achilles, man, he's been really impressive. A lot of flack went on that young GM over there, the young black dude who runs the Falcons. I forgot his name. He's the GM. They got mad at him for how he was drafting Penix, how he went and picked up, Darnell Mooney in free agency. They said he overpaid for him. He overpaid for Ray McLeod, but he knew exactly what he was doing, man. He was trying to give a veteran quarterback a lot of options. What's up, beautiful? He was trying to give his team a lot of options offensively because that's the strength of the team, and they really did well with that, man, with their offseason pickups and also setting themselves up for a future of not falling off like Green Bay did, where it went from Rodgers straight to Love. Now they got it where it's gonna go straight from the OG straight to Penix, and they still got all these young boys around them. It's a really good thing they're doing over there. And it's the opposite of the Saints, man. The Saints gonna have to tear everything down. That's
a fact,
bro.
You saw Cam Jordan. Cam Jordan didn't even want to go to the locker room with them boys, man. We see Carr coming back.
Gonna be nice enough to trade him, bro, to a contender. He's paid his dues like that, bro. Like Cam Jordan deserves that. He's been around since the Peyton era, playing really well and being an All-Pro and a Pro Bowler for them, bro. So it's no way that Cam Jordan shouldn't be traded to a contender right now before the season. They shouldn't make him do this really. But him, DeMario Davis, they don't deserve that. Even Kamara, man, go on and shoot Kamara somewhere where he can shine, man, real quick. Because Nick, that in the offseason you're gonna have to move him. So it's just they just playing out the string. Tyrann Mathieu, all these guys, man, they just playing out the string. The Saints are gonna look probably like Carolina next year with nobody. Just a blank team. They probably gonna throw Spencer Rattler out there if they can't get the quarterback that they're looking for. They probably just gonna plummet and tank all the way out and rebuild, which they need to do.
Do me a favor, 5-star. Go over to college football picks for me real quick.
Okay, I got you, brother. All right, so we're gonna start on Friday night. No, let's start tonight. Let's start with East Carolina. We're gonna go with East Carolina. If you could buy half a point and get it down to -7. That's always a prime number, but usually 7.5 means blowout. Over my years of betting college football, if I see that 7 and hook, it usually means it's about to be a real blowout. So you really can lay the hook, but if you can find a 7 and be smart, that's cool too. This game is based strictly on one thing and one thing alone. Florida Atlantic is not good, bro. And Tom Herman is a cokehead, and they done lost their locker room. Simple as that.
Who Herman, the coach over there?
Tom Herman used to be at University of Houston, man.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he be tripping, man. Tom Herman be tripping, bro. He tripped out. He went to Texas and kind of lost it, bro. He's one of them dudes who coaching this.
Oh, that's the one that got in trouble, right, at Texas. Did he get in some type of trouble, like drinking or something like that?
A path kind of similar to Sarkisian. He can really coach. It's just I think he's dealing with some off the field stuff. You know what I mean? I can tell. I can just see how he moving. The job is consuming him. him wanting to win, and guess where they got him based at? Miami. Right? So he kind of like Michael Daniels out there.
It's too many distractions out there, man.
Yeah, and his distraction is to get his mind off his work. He partying too much. So I don't like what they got going in Florida Atlantic, and I definitely don't like their quarterback, Cam Fancer. He wasn't good at Marshall. He showed flashes, but now he's plummeted all the way. When a team, kind of like the Saints, that's why I can never bet them. If a team doesn't believe in the quarterback and they don't like him, have a distaste for him, they're not going to play hard for him. Simple as that. And I don't think that Florida Atlantic tries too hard for Cam Fancer, man. Eastern Carolina isn't a world beater, don't get me wrong, but they have a good coach that's been there a long time. They're coming off of blowing out Temple. Not saying that that's a big win, but they've covered their last 2 games. Also, they've been a really good home team, man. They're 3-1 this year at home and 3-1 against the spread and beating who they're supposed to beat. And I just think
they covered versus Army too.
They covered against Army, which is really tough to do. I just think that this is a big game for them. They're at home tonight. They rarely get a primetime game with all eyes on East Carolina, and in the past, they've been really good in those primetime spots under their coach. So give me the team with a better locker room that's trying to play and get in a bowl game over a team that I think that kind of mailed it in.
Yeah, no, I could not talk you off on that one, man. Usually what you're saying is with that 7.5, it usually looks good to take that underdog. And usually when they set the line right there, they already know them boys about to win by double digits. So that's definitely a good look. Yeah, what do you think about what else you got for us in college?
We're going with UCLA +7. Buy half a point and get it up to the prime number and take the +7 -120. They might money line Iowa though. Iowa isn't a good road team, first of all. Yeah. And everything that Iowa does is about running the ball with their star running back, Caleb Johnson. But UCLA is one of the best run defenses in the country this year, man. They've been really stout against the run. I really like their coach, man. At first, when he came over there, everybody was clowning him. Deshaun Foster, former running back for UCLA. I didn't know what his, kind of like what his philosophies was going to be with him being a running back. But he's kind of like another running back who was a decent coach, and that's Anthony Lynn, where he's smart enough to, set a type of standard for everyone and hire good coordinators. He got some really good coordinators on offense and defense. Ethan Garbers, his brother, was a really good player at Cal, and now he's really good for UCLA, man. He's went 6 touchdowns with no interception, man, the last couple of weeks. He was throwing a pick per game. He's also spreading out the ball. He has 5 of his receivers and running backs with at least 15 receptions. That's really hard to cover, and that's Iowa's one weakness is covering the pass, man. So I think that UCLA will be able to stay in this game, and I think they might even win it. I like what Deshaun Foster's putting them. He's giving them a lot of confidence. He said last week after they upset Nebraska, something that really stuck with me. He said we had to learn how to win. We had to earn the right to win. That's a really good approach to life in general. And I think that he's the right man for that job, man. And he's building a type of strength and confidence in those kids that's now starting to show on the field. And I like everywhere where UCLA is going. So we're going with the Bruins at home +7. Long road trip, short week for Iowa. They got to fly all the way out to LA. It's gonna be a fun trip, some sun, some girls.
I was about to say, Foster, it make perfect sense too. You coming from Iowa, bro. You going to LA. It's time to have some fun. Fuck this football game. Listen. Hey,
it's some kids sneaking off this.
Yeah. They probably like, man, I've never seen no shit like this, man. Damn, you know what? I might want to transfer here.
I'm telling you,
coming from Iowa. That's a good look right there, bro. Going from Iowa to UCLA, that's a whole culture change right there, boy. Them boys finna be, man. Look, man, what we doing before and after the game, Coach? Can we stay a couple extra days over here? Dang, I'm trying to go to. And I bet you it's snowing like a motherfucker in Iowa right now too. And they going over there to where it's nice and sunny. You get to go to the beach. You get to go. Yeah, and then you look at UCLA.
The fabulous Rose Bowl. It's it's nice.
UCLA 5-1 ATS last 6 too. So like you said, they're getting better and better after they had beat Hawaii first, barely beat them, then lost 5 straight, then coming off a couple of really good wins versus at Rutgers and at Nebraska. Now back at the house. Now it's a good plan. Probably should have beat Minnesota too when they was
they're developing an identity now. They didn't know the identity early in the year because, as I said, with Foster being a running back, he wanted to try to run the ball. Their strength is Ethan Garbers, and he had to transition into being a guy who could throw the ball around. And after his coaching kind of set in, got enough repetitions. Now he's running that West Coast offense that they're running really well, and they're a pass-first team now, and he isn't turning over the ball. If he's not turning over the ball, then they can stay in any game with their defense. They got a really rugged defense. Their defensive line is underrated.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. No, I like that. I like that UCLA spot right there. I was looking at this game too. I'm like, damn, Iowa land 7 on the road. It's down to 6. It's down to 6 now, but it makes sense going the right way, especially if UCLA mess around, win that thing out right, man. Wouldn't that be? They hadn't won a home game yet. Had they? Let me just see real quick. What's the other play that you like, my brother? Yeah, they hadn't won a home game yet, so this could be UCLA first home win.
I got a lot of slogans, Jay. You know, that's kind of my thing. It kind of keeps me on point with my sports betting so I don't, lose my foundation. And one of them is if the line look funny, it's probably money. And that's how I feel exactly. We used that theory last weekend on Minnesota and came out pretty good, right? Yep. With that wondering why the hell they land -3 on the road at Illinois, which is supposed to be a better team than them. We got a similar scenario out at Arrowhead Stadium. This is going to be at Kansas City Stadium, so it's a neutral site. But for some reason, they got Kansas at only +3 against a really good Iowa State team. Iowa State is 7-1, for the season, 5-3 against the spread. Kansas is 2-6 for the season, 2-6 against the spread. I know Jalen Daniels is a cool quarterback for them, but man, why on a neutral site? They're only +3. We're going to go see if the book know what they talk about, because the book think they know something. So we're going to ride with the book on this one, man. KU got to win all 4 remaining games just to reach a bowl for the 3rd straight year. Lance Leipold, who was their coach, is a really good coach, bro. And, Kansas, their program has picked up in the last 4 or 5 years since he's been there. I don't think they want to fall off again and go back to not making bowls, especially with the talent that they have on offense. They got some really good receivers, really good running back, and an excellent quarterback. They just haven't been getting the results at the end of the game, man. Yeah. They've been in some really, really, really close games. All their games been one digit. They blew the lead at Kansas State late. Arizona State, they lost by 4 at Arizona State. They lost by 4 on the road to West Virginia. They lost by 3 to UNLV. They've been in some really good close games, and I think the books know that they're in a desperate mode right now because they want to go to a bowl game. So don't be surprised if Kansas pulls the outright on this game, but we're going to ride with the +3 and take the points.
Yeah, and they love playing in them NFL stadiums too, man. Them boys, you know what I'm saying? They love playing them NFL stadiums. It's almost like, you know what, we want to get there to be playing the next day on Sundays over there. So that's a really good look. The line definitely look fishy. I'm talking about you got the ranked team 7-1. They going up against a 2-6 team. I know the way that I used to look at football. I'm like, I'll take an Iowa State in this one, easy. You see what I'm saying? So
that's the setup. Now you know that's the setup.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah. Now it's like, you know what? Some feel a little off about this game. Either I'm staying away or I'm taking that ugly pick there. Now that's a damn good look. What you think about the game of the week, man? Alabama versus LSU. The talking heads on ESPN and all that saying that Alabama, if they lose this one, they might not make the playoffs, my guy. LSU at the crib getting 3. What do you think about this game?
Yeah, this is a playoff elimination game, and I think Bama's about to be eliminated just because Caleb DeBoer, good coach, he still doesn't have all his guys in there. He's kind of dealing with guys he had transfer and a couple that Saban left, but Saban had a lot of guys that left and transferred when he, retired as well. So for some reason, Alabama's defense isn't anything like it was before. Brian Kelly was just embarrassed. Texas A&M come back and beat them, and you saw as we faded A&M last week in South Carolina, they're not really a good team. They're not a better team than LSU. LSU just had a bad second half. What really hurt LSU in that game was they were preparing for Connor Wegman, and he's a drop-back passer that scrambles a little bit, but mostly plays from the pocket. And so they schemed for that. And then they brought in Marcel Reed in the second half. Marcel Reed is a running quarterback, and he ran for 3 touchdowns on LSU because they switched up to RPOs. Yeah. And they weren't prepared for it. And, Brian Kelly has never been a really good in-game coach. If it's not just going right from the beginning and he got his guys and his plan work, he don't know how to adjust. That's why they always lose the first game of the season, man. Those are 2 games that LSU should have won. Like, there's no way they should have lost to USC. There's no way they should have lost to A&M. So now they see they're 6-2, and reality is set in. If we don't win this week, it's over. We had dreams. At least it's 12 teams in the playoffs now. LSU, with this talent that you have, to me, LSU is the most talented team in the country. They're right there with Texas and Georgia. If you look at their roster and the guys that they have there and the type of recruits, LSU is right up there top 5 with anybody in talent in the whole country, bro. So I think that shows this week. We already know how it is playing at Tiger Stadium. Tiger Stadium, hell. Nick Saban had mastered it because guess what? He used to be the head coach there. So he had a different type of feel for that stadium and dealing with what people on there. This is the first time Caleb Boyd ever seen this in his life. When he pulled up, they're going to be outside, barbecuing elephant and everything. Like he ain't never seen nothing like this in his life, the way they're going to be drunk out there singing Boosie. It's going to be 1 million people rapping Boosie.
Yeah.
Like, that's intimidating.
Nothing like Alabama, I'll tell you that for sure. Nothing like Tuscaloosa.
Nothing like Tuscaloosa. So we're going with that home field advantage with LSU. I think LSU win this game straight out because I think that LSU's defense can figure out ways to get Alabama off the field. Even though we know Alabama is really good, I still think that my guy has a way to go throwing the ball for Bama. The quarterback from Houston, Milroe. He has a little ways to go, man. He still isn't. He's a good player, but he just needs some more. He's never been a natural passer. And Caleb DeBoer is trying to turn him into a drop back pass because as we've seen from Washington with him and Penix, that's the type of offense he want to run. He want to run pro style. So not a lot of RPOs and stuff. Same with LSU. Jaden Daniels leaves. Now Nussmeier got to sit back there and throw it. Nussmeier made a crucial mistake against A&M. I think he learned from that. He was trying to throw the ball away, ended up throwing an interception on the sidelines, and everything snowballed after that for LSU. And I know it's been a hard week on them because they don't hold back at that school when you messed up. So I know he's been catching hell on campus.
That's a fact.
Yeah,
especially after they lost to Vandy, boy. I know they called hell after that, boy.
Yeah, right. So we're gonna go with LSU on this one, man. I think that Alabama's a little overrated. They threw that 3 out there, -3 on their past and the past Alabama we know, and they think that people are gonna be so dumb that they just look at, Bama and LSU, they always beat LSU. They're gonna beat them. Saban not there no more, man. So we're going with LSU at home, one of the best home field advantages, probably the best home field advantage in all college football.
I'm riding with you, man. I'm riding with you. I like it. They lost their last couple road games as well, just showing that Alabama just not necessarily that same juggernaut that they used to be. Obviously, they've owned LSU as well. They've won 8 of the past 10 matchups versus LSU. So maybe it's their turn to you know what I'm saying? They would really love to knock them boys out the playoffs as well. But I like what you're saying there. It's LSU. It's basically whoever wins probably going to give, you know what I'm saying, that spot right there because we know SEC shit. They're going to have a lot of teams jockeying for that shit. You got Tennessee, you got Georgia, you got Texas, all these teams. So everybody can make it.
Hey, another one we didn't talk about. The line look funny. It might be money. Bro, Georgia only land 2.5 at Ole Miss.
And it's plummeting. That shit was like 6.
Crazy, man. That's what I
You hear me, 5-star? It was like 6. And then that shit just started plummeting, bro. I was like, it must be some injuries or something.
I call Lane Kiffin crazy, man. And you don't want to mess with crazy, man. When he just don't have nothing to lose and with a good team like he has and with a quarterback like Jackson Dart who can execute his plays, man, he right now trying to figure out stuff. Because you remember, I think him and the coach for Georgia were on the same staff at Alabama, if I'm not mistaken. I think he was the OC and he was the DC. So they kind of go back with each other. I think that the books are telling you that Ole Miss is going to beat Georgia,
That's
bro.
a fact. Yeah.
That
line looks funny, boy.
Yeah, I think they tell you that they're going to beat them. So it's going to be a crucial week in college football. A lot of big games. They just had the college football playoff selection show the other night, and I know it's just the beginning. Oregon was at top, but right at the, tip of it, and everybody's fighting for that 12-11 spot. And as you said, it's going to be an SEC team most likely to get that last spot, a 2-loss SEC team.
Yeah, that's a fact, man. I like it. There's some great info here, 5-star. Let's get out of here, my brother. Recap them with your plays. If there was anything that you wanted to add as well, you can say it now, my brother. But what you got for us this weekend? Today,
you guys tune in to the Waging World as always. It's on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel, man. I appreciate my guy Jay for helping me come on here. I got a new show. I'm growing it. It was on the radio forever. I just went back to YouTube and stuff. I was on the radio for 2 years in Houston. dealing with advertisers and sponsors and stuff like that locally. So this is a new ball game for me, going out here and dealing with you guys who like us, play sports and, bet sports. Mostly in the Houston crowd, it was just guys who were kind of learning how to bet sports, and they didn't have much opinion. They just played what I played, and they were really happy with it. But I backed up off the radio because, man, it's a heavy price being on that radio. A lot of people don't know the business of radio. I said, man, I could make more money just, doing my stuff from the house. So that's what I've been on this year. I appreciate everyone who comes over and watches the Wager World. I'm hoping everyone's learning a lot from tuning into the show. We try to make it more than just sports betting, So I appreciate that. And as always, you guys follow me on X at 5-Star in Vegas. Spell out the 5. Also, thewagerworld.com with the merch will be up really soon. I had to fire the first guy who did it because I didn't like what came out. Got a new team on it right now making it. We're going to have that merch for everyone to purchase, man. Going over the plays again, we're going with East Carolina tonight, -7. Friday, we're going with UCLA +7. We're going on Saturday with Kansas +3. We're going with Iowa State. Not Kansas. Yeah, Kansas +3, and we're going with LSU +3. And then we're going to go on Sunday with Thursday, pardon me. That's tonight. The Cincinnati Bengals +6. And on Sunday, Washington Commanders -2.5.
Man, that shit sound like 7-0 to me. You see what I'm saying? Them
baby.
things sound nice to me, man. Nah, I'm definitely right with you. There was some spots that I had circled as well. Makes a ton of sense. We love how you come on here, break the games down, man. Give us all the extra info. Let us know about the coaches, the quarterbacks, all that, man. Like I said, if people not learning, then they just not listening. See what I'm saying? Because you're definitely dropping off gems in this one, man. So, and even stuff that people can learn from the long term as well, especially about the coaches. So I always say in football, if you know the coaches and the system that them boys like to run, they can teach you something for the long term as well, man. So shout out to 5-Star for not just giving us fish, but he giving us fish and teaching us how to fish as well, man. You see what I'm saying? Oh, you didn't catch no fish today? All right, you can have a couple minds, man. So we appreciate that. Make sure y'all go follow him right now on X, man, at 5-Star in Vegas. He'll be here every Thursday throughout the football season, man. We trying to get this cash. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. Hit the like button. Go follow us on Twitter. It's us against the bookies. Let's get this cash, baby. We out, my guys. Check out the NBA show next.